I wanted to start off talking a little bit about war stories. Those conversations where you share the latest outrageous thing you've encountered in this industry, maybe while you were dealing with an insurer, an employee, or a customer. I won't make any of you raise your hand, but I bet many of you have shared or been involved in a war story this week. You've either told one or you've listened to one. I've heard plenty of them as a reporter and researcher covering this industry for 35 years. Thanks for that reminder, Aaron. But as much as everyone likes to share a good war story, I'd like to suggest that you take a just say no to war story stance. And here's my thinking. Well, it can be therapeutic to spend some time telling or listening to war stories. We've all heard plenty of them, and I think those few minutes could be better spent doing something that would help improve the industry. I do a longer presentation on this on ways you can spend just 15 minutes a month to do that sort of thing. And it's including sending a DEG inquiry about something that's incorrect or missing in an estimating system, or submitting a complaint to CAPA about a non-OEM part, or just volunteering some time, or just cutting a check to SCRS or your local trade association to work on behalf of the industry. But today I'd like to suggest that you spend just 3 minutes this month helping consumers make a better informed choice of insurer. And you can do that by participating in the Insurer Report Card. All that's involved is thinking about the insurance carriers you interact with at your business and assigning them a grade from A+ to F based on one question: how well does that company's claims practices help lead to quality repairs and customer service for policyholders or claimants? Now, I think it's fair to question how much good it does to spend 3 minutes on yet another industry survey. So let me give you just a quick rundown on the Insurer Report Card, which our publication, Crash Network, conducts each November. As I mentioned when talking about this survey in other forums, my sister worked in the medical industry as a liaison between medical care providers and health insurers. So she's very aware that there's a difference in how different health carriers deal with similar medical claims. So when I'm deciding where to get my own medical coverage, I've asked her about what she sees. And similarly, of course, shops have a lot of experience seeing how different insurers take care of their insureds and claimants after an accident. We wanted to channel that experience and perspective in a way that would help communicate that to consumers. I did my first survey like this clear back in 1990 for a state association, so I know it's not a new or unique idea. But what we think sets the Insurer Report Card apart from other surveys like it is that shops aren't just grading the top 10 national insurers. In the Insurer Report Card, shops have the opportunity to confidentially grade 20 or 30 auto insurers doing business in your particular state. More than 1,000 shops participate each year, and the result is that we develop a grade for more than 80 or even 90 different insurance companies. And that includes some smaller and regional carriers that consumers may not be as familiar with. In past years, in fact, it's often those smaller insurers that are among the companies receiving the highest grades from shops. We put the Insurer Report Card findings out in a document that's free of charge for anyone to download, including consumers. And I think this may be the 9th year we've conducted the Insurer Report Card, and we believe it's having some impact. First, we see through our website the thousands of consumers who have downloaded the annual report each year. We've seen state insurance regulators downloading the report. We see more insurance carriers paying attention to it, asking us for more details about what's behind their grade. And we see some of the insurers that get the best grades increasingly using that in their marketing. And it's not just us trying to get this information to consumers. We see shops talking about it in their podcasts and social media marketing and having it available in the customer area of their shop. We see consumer reporters and consumer advocates pointing to it when they're talking about auto insurance. There are also other publications and organizations that now incorporate our Insurer Report Card findings into their own ratings of insurers, including Forbes, CNN, Money, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, and of course, the source that I think so many of us turn to before we make important financial decisions in our lives, and that's of course Rolling Stone magazine. That one was a little random when they picked that up. But the fact that they're all talking about it helps lead consumers to find our full report. So by participating, you help give the insurers that you grade more highly another way to compete for customers. It also provides you, as shops, a tool to help convey to consumers that there's something other than just price and brand recognition to consider when choosing an auto insurer. It also helps provide a potentially useful message to insurers. I mentioned that we get asked by insurers for more details about the grade they received, and I should mention here that no one outside our organization ever is told who participated in the survey, how they graded any insurer, or any other perspective shared through the survey. All that individual information remains strictly confidential. But when you take the time to answer some follow-up questions in the survey about the insurers you graded, it helps us develop some cumulative data like the following, and I've stripped out the insurer names here. We can show insurers, for example, what the overall grade was that they received from their DRP shops versus shops that aren't on their program. Insurers often assume that their DRP shops think they're great, and it's only the non-DRP shops that give them a low grade. And that's sometimes true, for instance, with this insurer who got a B- overall from their DRP shops, but only a D+ from shops not on the program. But here's another insurer who got almost as low a grade, a C- from their own DRP shops, not much higher than the D+ they got from shops not on their program. It can also help us see why insurers got the grade they did. Insurers often think it's just based on what they pay for repairs, and there are some payment-related reasons. When we asked shops taking the survey about these two insurers, who each received a good grade, about 3/4 of the shops agreed with the statement that these insurers, compared to others, more often pay for quality parts rather than pushing for parts based on pricing. But only 8% of shops agreed that was true about this insurer, who received a low overall grade. Similarly, 3/4 or more of shops agreed that these two insurers are more likely to pay for OEM repair procedures, helping ensure the quality of the repair. But only 1 in 10 shops said that was true about this particular insurer, who received an overall low grade. But we can also show insurers that it's not always just about the money. They may be getting a lower grade from shops than they could be if they made other changes. As you guys well know, some insurers may have claims processes or administrative costs that are more burdensome for a shop than other insurers do. Again, 3/4 of shops agreed that these two insurers, when compared to others, have processes that are more efficient and that expedite the process for the shop and the customer. But only 14% of shops said that was true about this insurer. It can get some attention within a claims organization when they see that, in the case of this bottom insurer, 2/3 of shops said they have a less efficient claims process compared to other insurers. Another process-related example, a strong majority of shops agreed that these two insurers have claims personnel who are more experienced, better trained, or more responsive than other carriers, while only 16% said that was true about this lower graded insurer. So the 3 minutes you spend grading insurers this month can first help consumers realize they have more insurers to choose from than they might think, and that there's something more than just price and name recognition on which to base their decisions. And that's our number one goal with this, is to help consumers. But it also provides a tool that you as shops can use to help communicate that to consumers. And it can also help insurers, if they choose, take a fresh look at some of their business practices. And that in turn helps you as collision repairers and helps get a better outcome for your customers. For shops who are interested, the survey is open now for the next several weeks. To sign up to participate, you can visit our website, crashnetwork.com, or just send a blank email to this address and we'll send you more information. But here's my larger suggestion to you for the week and maybe for the year ahead. When you're about to spend a few minutes sharing a war story with a colleague, stop and ask yourself, could you spend that time doing something else to help improve the industry? A DEG inquiry, a CAPA complaint, or in this case, just 3 minutes on the Insurer Report Card. Because if every collision repairer spent just a few minutes each month doing that, it could make a difference for consumers, and it will make a real difference for the industry. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here at SEMA.